Okay, good morning. Gail from Blue Rose Paper Treasures. I decided to do the Facebook Live on this group rather than my Get Crafted with Gail, because I've got a lot of people that aren't on that in that private group, so I thought I'd show everyone these pre-order items. So today I'm going to start off with the Blessings of Home suite. I haven't got all the products. I only picked a few pieces. There is, I think, a card kit and a beehive embossing folder. I didn't get any of that. I may get that later. So here's the gorgeous, beautiful stamps. It's only two stamps in the set, and there's 2 dies to coordinate with them. And really, really beautiful font on the sentiments. The dies, you get all these beautiful little stems, and that one's a stem with some flowers, but lots of tiny little stems and flowers that you can get with the dies. So that's the bundle. These classic matte dots, I don't know if you can see it with the light. I think it's grey, not grey granite, what's the other grey? I can't think, grey, I think they're vanilla and little white dots. So as you can see, I've used some of those. You get the Denim Ribbon, which is very similar to another one I've got. I think they've just re-released it. I found another one in my stash, so maybe I've got 2 of them. The Denim Ribbon, which goes beautifully with that pattern paper. So we've got, it's very shiny. It's like it's got a, I can't explain it, but it's a bit of a shiny. It's not a matte pattern, cardstock. So you've got the little flowers, and all the reverse sides are all timber. And just let me, what was the other colour they used? Basic grey. So all the other sides are all timber, different timber patterns. So I'll show you the first side. So you've got the pale, fresh freesia, and you've got, you can either use this as Night of Navy or Misty Moonlight. This one's very pretty. It's got the 2 colours in it, the pale papaya and the fresh freesia, and whatever, a garden green. And you've got this one, which is just all leaves. And then you've got this little cinnamon cider. It's not one of my favourite colours, I can tell you that now. I would use very small pieces of this. But then when we turn them over, I've got a nice little brick wall. You've got another one a little bit more detailed. Got the nice tree bark. I love that one. I've already cut that one to pieces. These are the last sheets I've got left. A thinner one, and then one a little bit, it almost looks the same, doesn't it? Just slightly different. And, oops, and I love this one, the diagonal one. So they're all pretty neat papers. Coordinating colours, as I said. I'll just move that out of the way. Garden green, Misty Moonlight, cinnamon cider, fresh freesia, and pale papaya, and the whatever grey I said that was again. I've forgotten the grey again. Basic grey, which I don't use that very often. It's quite a full pack in there. I haven't used much of it, and I didn't use that with these cards. Alright, another item that I don't often pull out is the shimmery white cardstock, which is beautiful for watercolouring. You don't pour heaps of water on it, but it's a really nice surface, and when you tilt it to the light, it's very shimmery. I forget I had this, and that was one of the good things for on stage that I picked up. I thought, oh, I've got some of that. So the shimmery white cardstock. Alright, let's move them out of the way. Alright, so 3 colours I've worked with are cinnamon cider, misty moonlight, and garden green. They're all the colours that I've worked with. Alright, these were 2 previous ones that I had made. I'm remembering I was completely blocked for about 2 months, so I just did some very simple cards after I got this set. This is just 3 stitched rectangles and 3 different colours. That was pretty easy. Didn't really inspire me, which I thought it would, but it is a nice card. I haven't put enough dimensionals behind it, but I probably haven't taken the paper off. So that was one. And this one I did for Kylie's International Blog Hop. And that's, I actually already had those colours out, so I just used them to do the blending on that. Spritzed it with water, and that's just white embossed. So there, and there's some new jewels, which, oh, here they are. These are the garden gems that come with Eden's Garden Collection, and they're beautiful. I love them. I love those big blue ones. Anything blue I love. Alright, so that was just some samples I wanted to show you. Alright, these are the 3 cards that Shannon West demonstrated at On Stage. Because I was blocked, these were fantastic. They're very simple, but it actually gave me some creative juice. This is only a small note card. This one, I'm almost certain that at the beginning of the video, Shannon said that she was making it landscape. So I quickly cut my paper, landscape, but then her card was portrait. But it still worked out, so that's fine. I have kind of kept the basics to make my cards. So these were the 3 that she made. Very basic for me. But it gave me a start, because sometimes you look at a die and you just don't really know how to use it, like these long leafy ones. I wasn't sure. And she did some neat colouring with that, so we're going to go through all these cards. So this is the first one, and I've got my little kit here. I'm very organised. So I made that card. So you can see I've still used the basis of that. That's actually, I think, the reverse of that paper, if I remember. I was going to do it with the green, and then I flipped it over and went, oh no, I'll use the timber side. Sponge dauber, my blender pen, which another thing I always forget I've got. It's the problem, you get too many products and you just continually forget what you've got. Watercolor pencil, and that's a garden green, I think. And I've done my sentiment, and I'm going to actually trim it out. I love these dies. At first I didn't realise it was a whole die on its own, but I use it all the time when I'm looking to cut something small. So that's those. Alright, so that's the card I'm going to make, and it's going to be very quick. So I've already die cut all my bits to save time, so I'm just going to, I've got a brand new bottle of this. I'm just going to quickly put my 2 bottom pieces down, my 2 bottom layers. So that's one of the contour dies. I'm actually doing them in different colours too, which is what I do sometimes when I'm doing a Facebook Live. I've challenged myself to do different colours. And there's 2 little bits in there. I like to just be different, just to give you an idea of how you can just swap the colours around. Well, that was the B paper, the other side of that. So I've used a different piece than what was on there, but I'm pretty sure that one was the reverse of the green. So I've decided to go with the diagonals, and I've got, I've just trimmed it a little bit smaller. I haven't got the measurements just yet, but I'm just going to quickly... Now, when you're gluing the designer series paper, don't use a lot of glue because it tends to go through, and you can see it when it dries. You can see, and don't press hard because it does tend to put an impression on the paper. I've accidentally done that so many times and ruined it. So I'm just going to pop that on there. Alright, so these are the, I think I got all the dies out, yeah. That was the die out of the scallop contour die. I put my insert that way because if you put the dies on that side, when you're trying to close it, it always catches them, so I just reverse mine around. It makes it difficult to read it, but at least my dies don't get caught. Alright, enough of that. Alright, that needs to be done. Alright, so what we did with what Shannon did with the flower, she stamped it out with Misty Moonlight, which is what I've done. And just to colour the centre of the flowers, she just used a sponge dauber. Very carefully, you can be very careful. Oh. And she just put the edge of the sponge dauber on there, and just very slowly coloured around it. Just picked certain parts and just added a little bit of hue to it, which I thought was really good because, you know, I just suck at colouring, so any tips I can get on colouring, I'm very happy with it. A bit of blue there, and just Doesn't need to be a lot, just to highlight the flowers a little bit. Alright, and she also did the same thing to colour in the leaves, but I'm not as detailed as, I thought it was too big a thing. So I just used my watercolor pencil and just added a bit of colour. And then I used my blender pen to just blend it. And that was easier for me than trying to get the little sponge dauber in there to colour the leaves. So you don't have to be perfect because the blender pen will smoosh it all around. Not a lot of green on this. Alright, and then just use your blender pen. I'll give you a close-up when I've done it so you can see better. Alright, that's all there is to colouring that, and it doesn't need to be a big, dark, vibrant colour. That's all you want. So then I just mounted it, and where's my dimensionals gone? I only mounted the centre until I worked out where I was going to put my stems. So I just put a couple of dimensionals in the centre, flip it over, and then you've got all your stems. So then I just started whacking a bit of glue on the end. Oops. And then just placed it under. Once I had all the greenery in, then I went after and I added some more dimensionals so that it wasn't all floppy. Oops, sorry, hands in the way, you can't see what I'm doing. Oop. And whack some more down the bottom. Whoop, dropped it. I usually use tweezers, which makes it easier to not get glue everywhere. Another one there. That one's got a little flower on it. Alright, we'll leave it like that for now. That's enough. A little greener out of the way. Alright, then I go in and I just take a little bit, take the paper off first, grab my paper piercer and just slip it under. It's much easier to take the paper off first so you're not lifting up the image to try and get the... Okay, so that's done. And then the ribbon, which is not here, I'll have to cut some. A little bit of ribbon. Oh, I got glue on my finger again. Hang on, I'm going to have to clean it. I love that green glue. But once it gets on your fingers, everything sticks to it. Alright, a little bit of thread. I'm just going to put a little bit of my tape runner on that to hold it in place. And then I'm going to die cut. Oops, sorry, I moved that, I shouldn't have. Oh, where's my little... Here it is. Alright. So this is the mini messages die, or the messages die. So to get a nice one, I just kind of go, oh, that one looks good. Alright. Oh god, I got white cat hair all over everything. Alright, I just pop it in there. And I hope that goes through. I'm very much a very thin sentiment person. I don't think I cut that right. No, I didn't. Oh, sorry, I can have one straight in. I like a thin sentiment rather than a big chunky one. but I didn't line that up properly. But that's alright, because what I can do, now that I've got a straight one, I'll just snip that end off. There we go, done. So I'm just going to add tape to that. And that card is done, all except just adding a little bit of the gems, the pearls. There you go, just how different they look when you just alternate the colours. So that's card 1. I'm trying to be as quick as I can because I've got a lot to get through. We're still live. We're still live. Yep. Other leaves are punch or a die. They're a die. Those dies. Ones I showed at the beginning. These are all part of the same collection, Blessings of Home. Alright, next card. Alright, we'll get this one. Okay, where's the one? Alright, so that was the one that Shannon made, and I kind of kept it, I kept to the same sort of format that she did. I just zhuzhed it up a little bit. So, and I'm now changing the colour again. So, but I've kept the green and these tiny little flowers. And I'm using that die, which is my favourite die, and that's from the Pierced Bloom dies, and I absolutely love that. That's I use that on a lot of projects. Okay, so on this one, I've got a bit of vellum and a bit of embossing, and just layers. And I've also changed the colours on this one, but I'm now going to use either a green card base or the pale papaya. I'm not sure which one. So I might just layer everything on them and let's see how we go. So they're 5.5 by 4 1/4 cards. So we can either go with that one. And I ran out of that paper. So I'm just going to see what that looks like. If you just like, and I've used the stitch scallops. So I've just got one pale papaya and one vellum one, and the vellum one's been embossed with the Tasteful Textiles. See what that looks like. And we put our green down. And that is just the reverse of one of these sheets. Alright, so that looks alright. Let's see what it looks like on the green. What colour should I do? Green or the pale papaya? Oh, I like that. That makes the green pop a little bit. What do you think? Green or pale papaya? I think I might do green. Although that does look very feminine, doesn't it? Someone tell me what colour. I think I'll do the pale papaya. Okay, I'll just assemble this. Well, I don't really need to assemble all that because you can see what all the pieces are. I just wanted to show you that that was just same scallop circle embossed with the Tasteful Textiles, just to give it a bit of texture. So that goes down first. That would then go down. Then you just put a glue and a few little bits on that die. The I don't know what we're going to call that one. Someone called it something the other day, and I can't remember what it was. Not a banner. Can't remember. So that would just go down there. Then your stamped sentiment would go on there. I actually stamp before I die cut. And I've actually used green on the garden green on that. And then these little flowers, they're very tiny. You would just pop them where you would like them to go. Oops, very tiny. Alright, so that's just making it, just changing it. So you could just do a whole bunch of these and just change up all the colours. I'm not sure. You could use either one of those. That looks really nice. So that was card 2. So it started with that, and I just went to Avid basically. These are more casual ones. I went to Avid. Alright, card 2 done. I don't need to assemble that. Alright. Card 3, which was Card 3, I don't know where it's gone. Where's my card 3 gone? I've lost it. I've lost it. It'll be here somewhere. Alright, so for cards 3, I actually combined a little bit of Chloe Evans's technique, which was colouring with a white watercolour pencil, which I absolutely loved it. I'm really concerned I can't find that card. I think that was where I started. Yeah, that was it. That was the one. It was a little note card, but I just made them full-size cards. And I've just alternated colours, as you can see. I've white heat embossed on Night of Navy, and that one's just Night of Navy stamped on white. I've kind of kept that format going. That's really all I kept, because I don't like things on an angle. So I'll show you just quickly how that all came together. I did try to keep with the colours, like the Cinnamon Cider and the Misty Moonlight, but I couldn't find a way to bring, that one's got a little bit of garden green in it. I couldn't find a way to bring the garden green in. They're unusual colours to put together, but I think if you just leave it with 2 colours, it actually works. Alright, so what I'll do, I don't need to put all that together because it's basically a card base, a matte piece. I've just tied a ribbon, pre-tied it around the DSP. That would just get taped down. That would get mounted over the top, and then your little sentiment would go on there. But the great thing was the colouring. Works really well on a darker colour, and I'll show you some samples in a minute. These are my watercolour pencils, which, as you can see, I don't use them all that often, but they're going to be sitting on my desk and I'm going to use them more often. So I've got, for this one, I was actually going to do a shadow and then put that one over the top. So that's just a die cut on its own, and I was just going to give it a bit of a shadow. But the easiest thing, it was just, I was so, I can't think of the word, it was like, oh wow, I can't colour, but that's brilliant. It's just get a watercolour pencil and you're just going to colour in the areas that you want. And it is so simple, and it just makes a certain part. Like on this one I would only do the flowers. It's not vibrant white, so you're not losing all your heat embossing. And it's just so simple just to colour it with your watercolour pencils. So it brings a new element, so you don't have to stamp everything on white and colour it in. And that's all you do. So simple. So that was the 3rd card. And I've also changed the colours on this one. As you can see, it's different to that one. No, I was making that one, that's right. And all my little die cuts I've already done. But I don't need to put that together for you. It's more showing you a few techniques that I picked up from on stage. Alright, next thing, I'll get to a few other things that, a few new products. Alright, these were Chloe's cards. These were, oh gosh, I couldn't wait for the day to be over, so I could get about creating these. This was the In the Moment stamp set, which was in our swag box. I hadn't actually used it until I made these, and that's where I had to get the inspiration from. Obviously, I've used different things because Chloe had some of the newer products, and it's just simply just using a watercolour pencil and just highlighting parts. And it's so simple, and yet if you just want to whip up a few really quick cards, or if you even, these would be great technique for Christmas cards if you had something you needed to colour and you didn't want to use, you know, bunches of colours in it. So I really love that technique. It was easy to do, quick, and I knocked these up in like 5 minutes. The hardest part was trying to coordinate DSP, because I really wanted to do the same ones Chloe did, but I didn't have the paper. So that was just using a white watercolour pencil on a really darker colour cardstock. Alright, next one. These ones I cased from Chelsea. She did a presentation. I didn't have all her products either because she was using some new products out of the 2022 mini catalogue. So I improvised. There's this new vellum cardstock coming out. And it's pre-printed and it looks absolutely beautiful, and I didn't have that, so I just went with stamping on the background. So I just grabbed my Timeless Tropical and used the palm trees because it looked like she was maybe looking out on a beach. I've used the branches on the back of that one. You can't quite tell. That was Evening Evergreen with Evening Evergreen stamped. Balmy Blue with Balmy Blue stamp. And that was Night of Navy with Night of Navy. And I actually just used the script on the back. These are totally different to the ones that Chelsea made. But it actually helped me with a little bit of watercolouring. I didn't take as much notice as I should have. But what she's done is using blending brushes, just do a background piece, die cut your shape, stamp your image, and then stamp another image on basic white, colour it in, and then fussy cut it, and then put it on top. So I don't know if you can actually see that. It's all been fussy cut, and it's sitting on top of the other stamped image. So that was pretty cool. Can you see that one? You can see I'm not very good at colouring. I really need a lot of practice. Alright, so that was all stamped on that, and then stamped the image on white, and then fussy cut it out. And these images weren't that difficult to fussy cut. That one there, I remembered I had a Memento pen, and I tried to go around the outline, but I don't like the effect on that. So that one there, I haven't gone around the edge. But I've used my Memento pen, so I've had that for a while too. I just found all these things. So, alright, that's it. I think I got through that really quickly. My order hasn't come, so there were some other products that I wanted to show you. Some new stamp sets, one from the Celebration, which I think we got, one from Celebration and another one from the catalogue. But I can catch up with you another time for those. So go away, try this technique. It was brilliant, and it makes really nice quick cards. And that's all I have today. So there's all the ones. There's all the blessings of home. And some more blessings of home, and wherever the other one went, oh here it is, and the last blessings of home. That's a lot of cards there. Look at that. There's loads of cards to play with, and lots of techniques you can try. That's all I have for you today. I'll come back again one day with something new. Oh, I want to show you this. These are my new blending brushes. I think these are really cool. I love these, that they're coloured handles. I use them on this project. These just came up from my craft online up in Queensland. And I think they were half price or something, and I went, oh, they're fabulous. Because like my other blending brushes, oh, come here. I've used the stickers on the back of our stamp pads to wrap around handles, and I mean you can see they're all coming off. These are great. So if I want blue now, and they're really easy to clean, it actually comes with this little cleaner thing. Oh, and it comes with a stand, so they all stand up in it, but I found that they fall out, so yeah, I didn't like the stand. But this little cleaner thing, I actually clean mine underwater, but you can just rub it on there and it cleans them. And all that ink's now come off. I thought these were great. So colour coordinated, so if I'm doing something in orange, I just pick up the orange one. Always like to share neat things that I find online. Alright, that's it for me. That's all I have today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll just quickly run over and check to see if there's any messages. Be right back. Oh, it doesn't seem to be. What are we doing? Comments, have a look. Green, cards, green. No, doesn't seem to be any questions or anything there. So I'll go for now, and I will chat to you all soon. Have a lovely day. Bye.